All right, guys. Road to Glory week 12, the final 3 weeks of the regular season. Um, I'm gonna start asking now, but if you haven't sent me money, please try to get that in. I ideally I'd want it by playoffs. Um, you know, if you haven't got me money, send it in, please. Um, but Heading into week 12, we've had three new teams clinch for the playoffs, joining Galigo. So, okay, where was I? Me, Mirando, and Nihil have clinched. Ethan and Andrew are still in the driver's seat right now. Basically, a win gets them in. However, there's a chance that one of the bottom four could still make it if either Andrew or Ethan lose out and they have more points. But the odds of that are not great, but not impossible with the schedule. So right now we're looking at Mirando and Galigo with the bye, me versus Andrew, Ethan versus Nihil. So let's get into what went down last week. I played Brad. It got scary a little bit after Thursday, I would say for me with Jamar. Um, Allen, 23, he does his thing. Buffalo's not doing great right now, but he still scores fantasy points. Chase, that touchdown kind of bailed me out a little bit, even though, I still won by what, 20 something. Uh Great game from Ayuk, 21. Devontae Smith, leading receiver for Philly. Love it. Saquon turned into receiver. Absolute monster. Mostert, he does his thing. A-Chain got hurt again. So hopefully they're kind of gonna rely on Mostert a little more still. Swift, great game. Kincaid, very consistent for me. Defense did my thing, but overall, just good performance. 191. Brett Kyler had a good game. Mike Evans, man, I wish I had him, bro. Cooper Cup, him getting hurt. No offense, Brett, was huge for me. Um, ETN going scoreless. One of the few weeks he does needed it. Kittle scared me when Kittle got that touchdown. I got a little worried. Um, McManus solid. Baltimore Witherspoon, he's been really good, and your linebackers were really good too. So not a bad week from Brett, but you know just got lucky enough that my team put a good week together, I guess. So that leads us into Andrew versus Nihil. Um, yeah, Andrew, I don't know. I think some poor managing may have lost him the week, even though I still think he would have lost. But going with Sam Howell, who had already lost to the Giants, he didn't really play well in that game either. Little questionable when you have T Law playing Tennessee, a team that he loves to annihilate every time. Um, I don't know, man. Keenan Allen, he's been a stud. He did drop like two touchdowns. Still getting 23 is pretty crazy. Dobbs got a TD. Jacobs very mediocre. That's not good. Montgomery, even with Gibbs, still have the best backfield, I think, in the league. You can see right here, just mediocre week, to say the least. Winfield's pretty good. Quiet week from the linebackers. Nihil, quiet week from Mahomes still. He's been kind of, I don't know. He's been okay this year. Gabe Davis with a goose egg. Sutton, he's been pretty good. McCaffrey, my God. McCaffrey just keeps it going, bro. Brees Hall, good week. Gus Edwards, good week. Look at Micah with 10, Anzalone with 15. Yeah, I mean, pretty at 26. Yeah, the rest of your team made up for your wide receiving core, but Andrew didn't have a good week either. So put it together, clinch the playoffs, wins a win for Nihil, leads us into first versus last. Um, first versus last. Let's see. Gallego put up another good week. Let's see. Herb 25, still lost, but still had a good game. Tyreek, bro's a monster this year. Diggs has kind of been on a decline a little bit. Um, I still think there's no worries for him. Same with Kirk. Uh, Kenny Walker getting hurt's interesting though. Doubtful. Thursday night game too. I think you have Charbonnet, so worst case you just start him. Mixon not too shabby. We'll see what happens now that Burrow's out. Schultz had a touchdown too. Got 10. B Rob 19, McPherson 10. Dallas's defense, yep, definitely a good start for sure. What went wrong from McGill? Stroud quiet. So let's see. Under. A lot of unders for McGill. Not a lot of double digits either. Quiet week. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Aaron Jones though too. Officially rule Aaron Jones out. Kind of glad I got rid of him at the right time, I guess. But Gallego keeping that one seed. Mirando could. Do you guys play each other? Hold on, let's see. Do Mirando and Gallego play each other at all? Week 14 could decide, and a rivalry week could decide first place. Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Could decide a first place right there. Um, Mirando's hot right now. He's got the longest win streak with 6, I believe. I think that's right. Yeah. Um, Hurts, even in a game where they just don't look good, he still scores because he gets the rushing touchdowns. CD with 15. AJ had a quiet week. What's he questionable about? A thigh issue. He'll probably be fine. Scary quiet. Gibbs, he's been on a roll since the Baltimore game. Jalen Warren's been a stud. I think he's kind of a sleeper right now. Warren Pickens to benefit from new OC. It's a good sign for him. Kelsey at 14. I feel like Mirando had a mediocre week and still put up 172. So something's going right then. Lamar 23.9. Garrett Wilson, quiet week. Hopkins, good week. Ridley, great week. 2 TDs. Need to keep him involved in the offense, keep him going. I think Derrick Henry's definitely been a disappointment this year, to say the least. Yeah. James Conner was quiet. Addison was quiet. Washington's defense had 9 sacks. Yeah, just a quiet, like still over your projection, but just can see right down the line. Just not a lot of great performances. And this takes us to our final matchup, which was Ethan and Japes. This was actually a huge matchup, I think, because it would have brought Japes one game closer. But Ethan gained another game. So all it takes for Ethan and Andrew is one win to basically clinch. So it's up to them now. What do we got? Tua with 19. Amon-Ra looks solid, 19.2. DK at 17. He had a big touchdown. You know, Thielen did his thing, 8 catches. Quietly from Eckler, though. He kind of look I've seen some videos of him. He kind of looks slow. He doesn't look the same, but if they keep him involved in the pass game and he'll benefit from PPR. I think Rachaad White has been a stud for Ethan. I think that was a huge sleeper trade that it's going a little untalked. I think Rachaad White has really become pretty good. He's definitely like a top 12 RB right now, I would say. Um, Singletary, he's been getting going. He's taken over for Pierce. He's had a couple 100-yard games now. Will Lutz, that was huge for Ethan, 17 on Sunday Night Football. Fred Warner at 16. Jaden Reed at 18. For Japes, could have definitely been a different story if a QB and a tight end played a whole game. But now he will look without Burrow and Mark Andrews for probably the rest of the year. Adams had 18, DJ Moore had 19, Nakua had 16. So wide receivers did their thing. Pollard had 17. He finally scored and needed it. Tank Dell. So receivers were definitely on the money for Japes here. Buffalo's defense had 27. I mean, play a couple other people, you win this week. But just an unfortunate scenario. So that brings us into week 12 to see, let's see. I mean, honestly, any of these teams could still come in last, if I'm being honest. We did have a trade. Brett traded with Ethan. Ethan receives Nico Collins. Brett receives Amari Cooper. I think it really makes a difference right now. I would say Nico probably has the higher ceiling because of QB play, where I don't think Amari Cooper really has a huge ceiling with DTR if he's playing the rest of the way, but could be some strategy for Brett or something. I don't know. Maybe there is no strategy. I don't think we had any huge waiver like moves. Shapes went with Freiermuth and Jordan Love. I think Charbonnet was probably the biggest one. Yeah, Charbonnet goes right to Galigo. With Kenny Walker out, so perfect fit for him, I guess. So that would take us into this week. And looking at this week, I would say Mia Nihil is a good matchup for the week, but also I believe Andrew and Miranda is too, because Andrew needs a win to clinch. He could lose out. There's still a chance he could still not make the playoffs. Miranda's still going for the 1 seed. I mean, technically, me and Nihil are too, but going for a bye at least. But I don't think it's very likely, but it's 3v4. So I got Allen against Philly. I don't know. Like, you always look to like those matchups with two very high scoring teams, but we saw the Kansas City and Philly game, even though it was in the rain. But hopefully he can get what he needs to get. Chase, it'll be interesting without Burrow. Did catch a touchdown from the backup last week. I'm going with Ayuk still. I still like him. I like Devontae Smith against Buffalo. I think he's going to start turning it on now. And I'm hoping Saquon goes off against the Patriots. Need the Patriots to lose. Need a big Saquon game. Mostert, I think he has a tough matchup versus the Jets. Um, but I'm gonna ride the hot hand. Kincaid, I like. Swift, he's been awesome. Dealing with a little ankle issue, but he looked good. Um, just reading. Yeah, I think he'll be fine. Got a couple new, defensive players, but nothing huge. Um, yeah, I like an eye Hills. Mahomes at Vegas, I like that. I think his receivers got, fairly decent matchups. Love McCaffrey. Taylor could be interesting. I know Tampa does have a good front seven, but still, um, very beatable. I like Evan Ingram. I love Breece Hall still. We'll see if anything changes with Zach Wilson being benched. I mean, I honestly am gonna pick Nihil because I do like Mahomes. I think coming off of a loss, he's gonna play well. Always plays good against the Raiders. I think McCaffrey's got a really good matchup. I think Breece Hall could have a big matchup. His running backs are good. Um, I think that might be the difference. Andrew against Mirando. Andrew's going T-Law this week. Probably I don't know what to tell you. Um, Dobbs against Chicago could be good too. Keenan Allen, regardless, he's a must start. Debo's playing Seattle. If We'll see if Jefferson plays, we don't know. Um, I do like Montgomery. I like both line running backs. They got them both going head to head. Hurts against Buffalo is good. I mean, the receivers are tough here. And then he's got Gibbs, Kamara, Kelsey, Warren's coming alive. I'm going Mirando. 170 is pretty impressive to be projected at this point right now, as we've seen. Going Miranda, let's get it. Galigo versus Brett. Galigo's going Herb versus Baltimore. It's in LA, so I don't know. Baltimore's defense has been playing well though. Tyreek versus the Jets. I don't even think it matters who he plays. Um, I still don't mind Diggs. I like Kirk this week actually. Pittsburgh's defense has been playing well. They're the reason that they've been winning. So we'll see how Mixon fares. Same with Charbonnet against San Fran. And B Rob, I guess. I do like Dallas's defense going into this week. Brett's got Kyler playing the Rams, okay. Mike Evans against Indy, I do like that. Is Cup playing? Let's sit out first practice this week. They are still in a playoff spot. Um, so him playing obviously benefits. Shaheed, I don't know. I do like ETN. And then Kyron, because I know they dropped Henderson. And Kittle's been he's been playing well, I think. But I'm gonna go with Galigo this week. I think Hill, Diggs, really solid. I don't know if Cup's playing. So that's what I'm going with. And then that leaves, oh no, I missed one, but I'll go back to that. Japes first, McGill, Jordan Love at Detroit. Might not be bad. Obviously, Japes needs a QB. Puka, like Puka still. I Adams might, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know about him. I love DJ Moore. I think with Field, him and Fields are really good together. I think Pollard's got a good matchup. I think Pacheco's got a good matchup. This will be the first time we've seen Freiermuth since what, week 4? Yep. Tank Dell's been a stud. That was a good trade. Uh, and Japes going New England. No, Japes. Like, yeah, they could do well, but I don't want them to do well. No Ramondre. Interesting. I mean, yeah, honestly, who would you sit? Dang. McGill, Dak against Washington. Great matchup, I think, on Thanksgiving. I think your receivers might have some tough matchups, though. Same with Javonte and Bijan. However, it's in Atlanta, so I think that will help. Um, I'm not loving McGill's matchups, which is why I'm going to take Japes in this one. Just don't love the matchups overall. And then that leaves us with Ethan versus Evan. Ethan's going Goff, really? Yeah, why not? Goff home Thanksgiving versus Green Bay. He's got the stack, Amon Ra. DK. He's got Thielen against Tennessee. I like that. Be huge if Carolina could sneak out a win there. Eckler versus Baltimore. They got to keep him going in the passing game. Love Rashad White here. Ian Hawkinson. And hopefully Nico does bad. No offense, but they're playing the Jags. Going Miami's defense. Yeah, they got what, Boyle playing. Although Pittsburgh could be interesting too. Ugh. And then Ethan's got Crosby and Bosa playing, and we both know the QBs they're playing, so that adds a hint to anything. Um, Fred Warner's been a stud. Bernard's been really good. I like Lamar against the Chargers. Love that. Um, I really hope Ridley, they keep him going. Henry should have a good game if they can just give him the rock. Same with Connor. He should have a good game too, I think. And Addison. Don't love your defense this week though. I would maybe switch that out. James Cook could be interesting too, because they might be using him in the pass game more here. I'm gonna pick Ethan. Just think Ethan has the better team right now. And so players, what do we got? All offense, season total, all players. Still should be Josh Allen followed by Hurts and CMC. So if we look at QB, got Allen 262, Hurts, Lamar, Herbert, Howell, Dobbs. Mahomes at 199. Purdy's right behind him. Receiver should be Hill. Yep. Tyreek. Keenan Allen at 2. CD Diggs. AJ Amon-Ra, Chase. DJ Moore, Thielen, Nakua, Mike Evans. RB, we already know. CMC followed by Raheem the Dream, ETN, B Rob, Swift. Jacobs is really right there. I honestly did not expect that. Rashad White, Gibbs, Edwards, Mixon, Kamara, Barkley. Tight end, still Hawkinson leading. Followed by Kelsey, Mark Andrews, who's now out, Kittle, Portis, Schultz, Komet, Kincaid. Kincaid slowly coming. He's slowly there. Yep, still Dustin Hopkins. Dallas now is the best defense. Definitely after last week. Yeah, I would agree with that. This Bland guy, he's been a stud. 4 pick sixes is insane. Mad Max, he's a stud too. I mean, he's a force, bro. D Lyman putting up that. And then we have Oluokun followed by TJ Edwards. Let's go. TJ Edwards. He's nice. And that's probably gonna do it for the week. So it's gonna get interesting. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if the two teams left clinch. And we'll see who will be fighting for the number 1 pick. So see you next week.